everybody, and welcome to the program. Last weekend was the 10th anniversary of the Toronto Molson Indy, and we were there to capture as much of it as we could, and we're going to bring it to you right now in the next half hour. First up was the Magna Enduroseries. They ran a 1-hour endurance race on Saturday afternoon. Well, in fact, it was Saturday evening when they ran the race. Richard Spinard was not an entrant at the start of the weekend, but he turned out to be the race winner after starting dead last. We met up with some of the drivers while they were going through their first qualifying stages, and let's just bring you that right now. Paul, right here in front of the pit, obviously some hard contact with the wall. What exactly happened? Was there something on the track at all that caused this?
No, just got a little bit wide and then just smacked the concrete. I really have no, I have no excuse. The car wasn't handling particularly well, and I just started drifting out, and I just couldn't bring the car back. So,
do you think you're going to be able to do anything as far as taking it back to the shop and working all night?
Yeah, we'll take it back to Bob Johnson Chev Olds and have the bodyman take a look at it. They've fixed this sort of thing before, and we fully expect to be sitting pretty on the grid on Saturday afternoon.
Well, let's hope so. Tough break right now. Smile, I'm sure down the road is going to get better.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my crew in advance for all the really hard work they're going to have to do, and hopefully the rest of the weekend will be a little bit better.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
Just hopped out of the car. How's it going out there?
Well, the track, you know, first session out this morning is very slippery right now. There's a lot of dust on the track, and as you can see, you know, some of the cars have already had some problems sliding. It's very slippery, and we're just trying to stay cool out there. My partner Greg is doing an excellent job just learning the track, and we got a lot of people from Good Wrench here today in Slick 50, so we're just trying to keep a nice clean car for the race tomorrow, and you know, just build up to it instead of going all at once.
You have a pretty late start for the race. How's that going to change as far as the car setup versus the time that you're going to qualify in the afternoon and this setup now in practice?
Well, I think that the track will actually come to us. It'll get stickier as the IndyCar sessions run all tomorrow and the other races and that. I think the track is going to get grippier, and that'll work better for our car. We're not going to change too much. We just want to keep it simple for Greg to learn the track and just run consistent.
Okay. All the best here in Toronto.
Thank you.
Well, I just saw Ralph take off to head back out onto the track. How's it going so far for you guys in this session?
Well, we think we're fourth according to the times that we've been getting, but because of the heat, the car's running hot, so we don't want to do anything that jeopardizes the motor. So I don't know if we're going to try a couple hot laps or we're just going to cool it down.
Terry, you're looking kind of casual. You're not going to take this session in? What's going on?
Not this session, because we're back-to-back with PPG, and so I did the pace car, and then there's this, and then I'm doing the pace car again. But I'll be out in the afternoon session at 6.
All right, look forward to that.
Great, thanks.
Session's now over for the practice. How'd it go out there?
Well, you know, it's a pretty hot one today, and you can feel that in the car. There's no doubt the tires are taking a beating today. The track is bumpier than when I was last here in '92, and that's upsetting the car a little bit. We may be sprung a little bit too stiff. I think we're going to soften the car up a little bit, try and get some grip, because going through the kink on the front straight is heading it for the wall a little too much, and coming off the back straight, I'm getting wheel spin. So that's indicative, actually, of a car that's a little bit too stiff. We're going to try and soften it and make it a better ride.
Any idea where your time is versus everybody else right now?
No, I haven't a clue as yet, but no one passed us, so I think we're doing okay. I think a lot of people haven't been here before, and everyone's a little rusty. And I've had the opportunity of being here more than anyone, I think, by racing in the Corvette Challenge here in '89, a race that we won. So I'm pretty pumped that we can come up with the right setup and make the car go real well.
All the best out there then.
Thanks very much.
Scott, practice is now run under the hot conditions. You're going to be racing late in the afternoon towards the evening there. That's really going to change versus what you're learning here.
Yeah, right now we're right in the middle of the heat of the day, and it's really slippery out there. Everyone's learning the track, so I think the fast times will be tonight in qualifying, and of course our race is late in the day too, so that'll help. So I don't think what we saw right now is too indicative of what you'll see later.
Where do you stand right now, at least, do you know?
I think we're in top 4, but I know we're not first, and I think we're in the top 4 somewhere, that's it.
That addition of, well, actually moving the wall back in corner 5 so you can see around that corner, you must like that a lot now.
Actually, I prefer it the other way. I think what it does is it opens it up, so a lot of guys are a lot braver through there than they weren't before, and I used to be able to make up some time. Everyone's charging in there now, so I prefer it the old way. But I guess it's a lot safer.
Well, good luck in the race.
Thanks, Glenn.
Derrick, Moennick, Rob Vinning teamed up in the Nissan NX 2000 number 22, a brand new paint job for this trip to Toronto, and how'd it feel out there?
Well, the Palma Brava Nissan went really amazing today. It was we're really fast, and we're right now in the impound, so we must have had at least one of the top 3 times.
This is your first visit here to Toronto, the Toronto Molson Indy circuit. What do you think of the track?
I think the track is amazing. It's really fast, and it's got some really hard braking, so it's really going to show driver ability, that's for sure.
Well, you're teamed up with a guy that's been here before and knows how to drive. Rob, come on in here for a second, and we'll get some thoughts. You went out first with the car. How'd it feel to you?
Actually, it felt very good. It's the first time I've driven the NX 2000 here, and that's a pretty awesome little car.
What about your teammate here? Is first time you're certainly watching him and checking the clock. What do you think of Derrick?
He's a very quick learner. He's doing very well. It's happy to be teamed up with him.
Is this the plan for the rest of the season for you and Derrick to team up with this car until the end of the season?
Yeah, at the moment that's what our plan is, and it just depends on how things go to whether we run both series or not. You know, it'll be a monetary thing, I'll tell you that one.
We're leading the Valvoline Touring Car Championship in our class, and that's going to be our main focus. We're just here because of you know, some extra exposure, and you know, our sponsors wanted us to be here.
Yeah, talking about that series, turn 4 at Mosport, couple barrel rolls, and you're in the woods. They worked all night, got the car back, and I tell you, that shows dedication to the sport and the commitment that you have, that you want to be a racer.
Yeah, and coming third after that was very spectacular. And you know, the team's really working well together. Rob is just, with his experience and his ability to drive, the team is gonna, you know, we've got a really good chance of winning the championship, that's for sure.
Well, I wish both of you the best of luck this weekend. Go get them.
Thanks a lot, Glenn.
Thanks, Glenn.
Well, as I mentioned, Richard Spinard started dead last, 32nd, and finished first. Peter Lockhart and Nick Moran wound up second. Terry MacDonald-Cadieux, our Whitby native, and her teammate Ralph von Engelbrecht ended up 7th overall. Kenny Wilden and Greg Wilkins in the number 3 car were 9th. Paul Duckworth and Mike Hart did manage to get the number 2 machine back out. They finished 13th overall. Touring class went to Armstrong and Allingham. Derrick Moennick and Rob Vinning had their Valdi Foods cars starving for some horsepower. The number 22 did not finish. They ended up 28th overall. Terry MacDonald-Cadieux leads Grand Sport Division in the Magna Enduroseries. On to IndyCar's practice session. We met up with Robby Gordon. Robby, glad to have you back in Toronto. Man, you put Elkhart behind you, huh?
Yeah, Elkhart was very frustrating for us over here at Walker Racing. You know, with Jacques taking the win and then gaining all those points on us. But, you know, we're going to put that behind us, and we're back on a street circuit where we were on the pole last year, and we won our last race on a street circuit. So, you know, hopefully we can have a good run here.
What is it about the street circuits and you?
Just seems like we got a good setup for the chassis on the street circuits, and we're struggling on the high-speed corners a bit. But we definitely get off the corners well, and that's important.
As far as this race is concerned, this is a pretty important practice session because the qualifying today might be the quickest with the possibility of rain tomorrow.
Well, yeah, that was the same thing it was last year, too. When I was on the pole last year, we did it on Friday, so it's going to be important for us to get the most out of the sessions this morning and try to get the most out of qualifying. Unfortunately, we qualified so bad last weekend that we will be in the second group, which has the slower group half of the field in it, and it's pretty hard to pick a clean lap, but hopefully we can get it done.
Pit locations, are they determined by qualifying as well?
I think they're determined by finishing or qualifying of the last race, and we didn't qualify very well. That's why we're here in the middle, but we definitely got a straight shot coming in, so maybe that'll be an advantage, maybe not.
All right, well, we look forward to the race and seeing you out here again.
Thank you.
All right, now let's move on to Sunday morning pre-race warm-up. Al, welcome back to Toronto for the race. What do you expect for this one?
Well, we really don't know. You know, the clouds are threatening rain, and so we never know if it's going to actually hit us before the race or during the race or whatever. So, you know, it's really kind of up in the air, and that's it right now.
You guys have done a fair bit of testing since Indianapolis and got these cars sorted out, and things seem to be going a little bit better for the team.
Well, they're going a little bit better, but, you know, not as good as we'd like it to go, but, you know, it's okay. So we'll go out and do the best job we can do, and whatever happens, happens.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Starting 13th today, Danny, and Toronto has usually been a pretty good place for you.
Well, it has, but I haven't ever started back as far as 13th, and I don't think I've ever been in as competitive a field as we have today. I mean, 20 cars are covered by a second. We were quicker yesterday morning, fell off just a couple of tenths, and we dropped from 7th to 13th, so it just shows how close it is, and it's going to be a great race.
Great job qualifying. You're on the front row, but not quite enough for the local guy that's got everybody cheering.
Yeah, Jacques, that's 3 poles in a row for him now, and you know, another great effort by the players team, and they'll be very difficult in the race, as well as a lot of other guys. I mean, the field is very close. I think there's 19 or 20 cars all on the same second, so that should make the race real exciting.
Describe what it's like, you think, going into corner 1 here on the outside. What have you got to do on this first lap?
Well, last time I was on the front row at Portland, I got a terrible start and lost a spot, and hopefully I can just keep with the pace, and you know, I don't have any plans. You got to make decisions at the last second, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, all the best out there.
Okay, thanks.
Outside of the second row, that's a good job here. The Nike Firestone car performed pretty well here.
Yeah, it went pretty well. I mean, I think any one of the 4 of us or 5 of us could have been on pole. I mean, we're all still very, very close, and you know, we're looking now. It's you know, a lot of different conditions. They did some patchwork to the track, and you know, being involved this year with Nike Canada, it's been exciting with Firestone, with Patrick, and we're looking for a good race. Like I said, the conditions are changing, so we're having to keep up with it. We're watching what's going on here, and hopefully have a good race.
Now, last time Jimmy Vasser was on the front row, he was just saying that he didn't have such a great start. Are you aware of that, starting behind him, and how do you compensate for anything that might happen in front of you?
Well, you know, a lot of it, you know, you can plan for it until you blew in the face, but you know, until you get out there and take the green flag, you never know what's going to happen. So, you know, starting from the outside, there is, you know, a little bit more of a peculiar situation than if you're starting on the inside, but you know, I think everything should go okay. You know, trying to get down there to the first corner is always tough, but I think everybody will, you know, be good and come through with the least of problems.
All the best out there. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Let's go back in time to the first qualifying session where Mario Andretti and Michael Andretti were not happy. Mario, you've been here watching Michael's run. He's 6th quickest so far. What did he say?
Oh, he's not happy at all. Somehow he just called the traffic wrong. He just couldn't get a good clear lap. You need at least 3 consecutive laps clear, and I don't know what it was. He was, it was just calling it wrong. They were going out, he'd get trapped, and then somebody would slow down, and it messes up your lap. And when it's hot like this, you cannot afford to waste a lap because the tires go off so quickly. So he knows there's a lot more in the car, but just wasn't able to get it out today.
Now, you're used to this kind of stuff. You know what's going on out there. Usually here in Toronto, the Friday is the quick time. Saturday is a little slower, and now we're even talking about maybe some rain.
Well, again, what can you do? You know, it's if you can't better your time tomorrow, you know, it's going to be harder on Sunday. You know, it's just got to take it the way it comes.
Enjoying your retirement?
Oh, sure.
Le Mans, quick comment about Le Mans.
I enjoy that as well. I enjoy that very much. In fact, most of all, I got back to driving and a lot of satisfaction.
We're glad to have you here in Toronto, Mario.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Michael, 6 on the grid so far. Yeah, you're not happy about this. What are you going to go and do to the car now?
Well, it wasn't the car's fault. It's just we never got a clear lap. My second set of tires, there was always somebody in front of me, and you know, I think we were right there. I think we could have been close to what the pole time was. So it was really disappointing not to show it.
Yeah, well, you know that usually Friday here is the quick time as well. Boy, you're going to have a real tough time tomorrow. Do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be much slipperier tomorrow than it is today. Cause it was really slippery out there because of the weather, so I think we should hopefully be able to make it better tomorrow.
All right, all the best then. Thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to go over and see Dr. Olney now, and hopefully he's going to, you know, I took some painkillers before qualifying, which helped a little bit, but not for very long, and you know, hopefully we can fix something up for tomorrow to make it better. But what he's basically saying is the less driving I do, the better off it's going to be for Sunday.
So you won't go through the full qualifying session?
Well, it's hard to say. I might. We have an hour practice tomorrow. Maybe I'll run half an hour or 40 minutes. I would try to, you know, do as little running as possible because it's going to make it better for Sunday.
Did he do any more of the clutch system to help you?
No, it's just it's not a problem with the clutch. It's just a problem of how bumpy the circuit is and how much my foot is getting jarred and bounced around. It's just there's no way to keep it from. I'm trying to suspend it there and just kind of not let it hit anything, and it's just getting bounced all over the place. So, you know, that's what's most painful.
Have the doctors mentioned any long-term effects to you?
No, not yet. But you know, I'm sure it's not helping it any. But you know, this is something I got to go through this weekend, and you know, hopefully it'll be better by Cleveland. Cleveland's a worse track than this for bumps. So, you know, I anticipated it was going to be like this, and hopefully we can get through this.
Paul qualified 10th. Indy Lights race ran before the Indy cars. Greg Moore did it again.
Me a little bit, so I'll be able to pull out the Players Limited car was strong all day, but once it started to rain there, it just it got really slippery, and Robby's car seemed to be working a little better, and you know, he was hanging it out pretty good too. And once I saw him really close up on me, I just decided, well, you know, you're going to have to hang it out too. And luckily the track started to dry there, and you know, it was a dry race after that. But for 5 or 6 laps there, it was pretty intense.
And here we go, the big show, the 10th anniversary of the Toronto Molson Indy. Jacques Villeneuve on the pole. We're just moments away from the start of the race, and maybe we can get a quick moment to get a few words from Paul. Paul, looking forward to the start of this race?
Well, it's going to be a tough start. There's a lot of good guys in front of me here, but we've done good starts all year long and been able to get in contention, so it's hopefully everything will go all right. Then the rain will hold off a bit, and then see how it goes.
All right, good luck out there.
Thank you.
Here we are, folks. It's the Toronto Molson Indy, the 10th anniversary. The drivers are in their parade lap cars, and we are getting set for the start of the Molson Indy momentarily. We're not going to be bringing you the race, but we're going to try and bring you as many of the interviews as we possibly can between now and the end of the race, and of course, the post-race victory interviews. That's it for now. Let's get on with the race. Carlos Carrera's car. They're not even going to get a chance to look at this until the race is over. Then they got to get it back into the garage, either work on it here or work on it when they get set up in Cleveland. But not a lot of time between now and next week's race at Cleveland to get this car back on the track. And a tough break for Carlos. We met up with him earlier, and now, as you can see, there's a lot of damage to this car. Around, you know, and make sure everybody's having a good time and talk to people, so tough job. Hi.
Hi.
Can I have your names, please?
I'm Alex, Kim, and Anna.
Now, what are the three of you doing here on your rollerblades and skating around and attracting a lot of attention? What are you doing?
Well, we're here to represent car number 10, Adrian Fernandez, and the beer. Tecate. So, yeah, we're just having a lot of fun rollerblading, and it was a great day yesterday, and promoting the beer and the car and out meeting people. So it's been a really good 2 days.
Have you had a chance yet to meet Adrian?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yesterday.
So obviously you're not even watching the race, so you have no idea really what he's doing out there right now.
Pretty good last time I heard.
Good.
Yeah. In the top 15 actually yesterday in the standings. So we're hoping that he's going to do well today in the big race. So
is this the first time down to the Toronto Molson Indy for the three of you?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
It's great. It's fun, yeah.
Well, you picked a good year to come down, 10th anniversary, kind of momentous. So you're going to be back next year, maybe?
I hope so. Most likely. Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting the three of you, and believe me, it's been a real pleasure meeting the three of them.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
As we finished that, Adrian Fernandez took the checkered flag to finish 7th. Post-race press conference. Michael Andretti won the race, Bobby Rahal second, Jacques Villeneuve finished third.
So I guess when it's your day, it's your day.
Congratulations on the win, Michael. Back here in Toronto, boy, you've got it hooked up here.
I love this place. You know, it's strange. It's been a place that's been good for me, and I can't explain why. You know, today we probably didn't have the quickest car, but we just had a little bit more luck. You know, I think we've had better cars during the year and weren't able to come away with a win. But here, for whatever reason, we were. You know, it's just great. You know, coming up here, and it took Toronto to break the ice for us.
I'm glad we could do that for you. As far as the traffic's concerned, in your qualifying, it was a problem for you. It put you back into spots. Yet in the race, you didn't seem to mind the traffic as being too much of a problem. And the fact that you alluded to the whole fields are going faster now, yet in qualifying, they still were just in the way.
Yeah, well, it was more guys just backing off after they would do their lap and getting in the way, you know, so it was a different type of traffic. But the traffic was tough today because everybody's going so fast anymore. You know, the lap cars aren't going so slow anymore, and when you come up on them, it's tough to pass them. But you know, it says something about the quality of the field.
Have you had a chance to see what's going to be the new turns 10 and 11? And if so, can you make any comment as to what you think about them?
Very roughly, I've seen sketches of what it's going to be like, and you know, I think it's going to be good because I think it's going to open up. You know, it's going to be more passing, which is going to be good. But the downside is I'm going to miss those last turns. You know, I think those are two of the toughest turns we race on all year, and you know, they're the type of corners that separate the men from the boys, and you know, I'm going to miss them. You know, but I understand why they have to take them out, and the way the layout looks, I think it's still going to be okay. But it looks like it'll also probably straighten up pit road and not have that kink in there. Will that make a difference in probably the outcomes of races? I don't know if it'll make a difference in outcome of races, but it'll make a pit lane a little safer because the pit lane here was a little shaky, you know, because of the turn. So, you know, that will be better.
I've always done well at Cleveland. You know, even last year with the Honda when it was underpowered, we had a very good handling chassis there and really ran with cars we shouldn't have been competitive with. So I'm excited about our chances there next week. And, you know, we've got, as I say, 2 more of this 4-race swing. And if we can come out of there with a lot of points, I think we have a very realistic chance of the championship.
Well, the way the championship is now and with a 6th race remaining, it's really important to get points everywhere. But not just like small points, it's important to get good points. So if we can be in the top 5 at every race, I think we'll have a good chance. Now it's 24 points lead, and that can go down very fast. So you really have to stay up there at all time.
Here are the top 5 from the Molson Indy. Paul Tracy battled back after an early spin to finish 8th. Looking at the points, all right, Jacques Villeneuve still out in front, but Bobby Rahal, he's taken over 2nd spot from Robby Gordon. Paul Tracy's in 5th with 78. Indy Lights, it was Greg Moore on top of the points, and Bertrand Godin called in on Thursday night to take over Claude Bourbonnet's spot, finished 7th. Trevor Siebert finished 20th, Cam Binder 21st. With another win, Greg Moore on top of the points. Check that out. Players Limited, Toyota Atlantics, Richie Hearn won the race. David Ambringham started 2nd, finished 2nd. Patrick Carpaccio finished 3rd on the podium, got hit by the cork of a champagne bottle. He's okay. He'll be ready to race in Trois-Rivières. David Ambringham still leads the points. Lee Bentham up into 16th after an 8th place finish in Toronto. And Michael Clifford, 24th in the points now. Whew, another half hour went by real quick. This coming weekend, IndyCars, Indy Lights, and Trans Ams are all at Cleveland. The Magna Enduroseries and the SL Protect Series at Mont Tremblant and Motorsport International Speedway Thunder can be seen tomorrow night right here at 8 o'clock. Until next week, I'm Glenn Butt. Have yourself a good week.